So with the rampant crime in this country, I do want to be able to lock my cover onto my bike, and they've got these lovely slots at the bottom where I can do that. So I did what any other guy would do, is I went and bought myself a little bicycle U-lock. But guess what? Hey, it doesn't fit. And look, the pamphlet said that this was wider than what it actually is, and I'm not going to hold them to account to that. So, hey, what am I going to do? I'm going to make a new one.
There's an age-old question in the home workshop: to buy a tool or not to buy a tool? I have a rather pragmatic philosophy on this subject. I doubt there will be any Zen in the art of tool buyers books written on the topic, but I would love to share my viewpoints in a small video while taking the time to build a custom stainless steel U-lock for my bike from boiler tube offcuts. My philosophy has a few premises. Premise number 1. A tool being used is better than one on the shelf. In other words, I buy tools to use. I don't collect or store them. Premise number 2. Any tool should make a job easier or make it quicker. Premise number 3. The work and cost required to make the tool should far outweigh the benefits of just buying a suitable tool that'll do the job. Premise number 4. There should be a clear cost benefit in buying the tool. In other words, the tool should not cost more than the individual job. If it does, refer to point number 1. And then the final one, premise number 5. And it's a special point that can veto all other points. If I learn a new skill or enjoy the job immensely, then buying the tool is a no-brainer and I just buy it. A borderline example that stretched my set of principles to the limit is a pipe bender I bought recently from Oddendorf. This pipe bending set is well made, it's incredibly flexible with a large range of formers and followers, and I can honestly say that it will make any bending job a breeze. Was it worth it for just one U-lock? Well, no. But then again, finding a suitable U-lock turns out to be more difficult than just making one.
Alright, let's check to see if I've got this bend right. And yeah, I think that'll work very nicely. That will work very nicely indeed. Nice.
Making this U-lock is incredibly easy and can be done entirely with hand tools. You could even do the bends around a former, providing the bending radius is large enough. Using a bender keeps the inner radius on the tube intact without flattening or collapsing the tube. This makes the final bend much stronger. Now that's a win for premise number 2. My philosophy is still looking a little weak though, but let's get back to making the U-lock. I always leave extra material when making the design up as I go along. When the final assembly is done, this excess will be trimmed off, finishing the lock off neatly. A 1mm grinding disc makes easy work of this. Incidentally, most hardened locks are susceptible to a 1mm grinding disc, so my U-lock is on par with what is commercially available. And because I'm using stainless steel boiler tube, it's corrosion resistant. I'm fortunate to have a pretty decent press that'll flatten the ends of this tube no problem, and pretty neatly as well. But failing that, a vice grip or a hammer will do the job just as well. Machining and drilling stainless is not for the faint-hearted. It's tough going, which makes the material a good choice for a U-lock. When punching and drilling any material, you need to make sure the punch mark is wider and deeper than the drill bit chisel edge. That's basically the flat at the tip of the drill bit. This is to prevent the drill from wandering. If the drill bit is too large for the punch mark, then an easy trick is to drill a smaller hole before finishing the final size. For stainless, it's better to drill a dimple because opening up holes in stainless can damage the drill bits. If you must open up holes, then I suggest steps of no less than a third diameter of the previous hole drilled. Once you lose the corner of a drill when drilling stainless, you need to stop and sharpen before you work harden the material. The rest of this job is cutting the slot for a U section to fit into the cross tube and trimming the surplus material and smoothing off the edges, and maybe a little bit of beautification at the end. It went a little bit like this.